Valley has made its mark with its deep roots in agriculture along the U.S.-Mexico border, but there's another route that's been long overlooked in the midst of economic inequality, a branch of talent that runs through some of the country's best boxing rings. Here's a News 11 exclusive where I give you a look at the boxing scene that has recently grown after a local hero put the sport back on the map. The Imperial Valley, a place familiar with those in the lower corner of Southern California, right by the U.S.-Mexico border. A deep and rich history of agriculture and Mexican culture. But it's a place thought by some outsiders as unsafe or unfit to live in the midst of the nationally coined term, crisis at the border. And a place often overseen by the disparity in wealth from its surrounding areas.
Imperial Valley is a super working class area. It's agricultural, there's manufacturing. It's really a place for a ton of blue collar jobs. When it comes to economic inequality, especially in Southern California, if you think of the wealth of these coastal cities as opposed to just heading any point inland, the income falls precipitously.
And national policies that run through the border tend to drive outsiders away, but unknown to them are the beauties found within the valley that create a very proud region.
This kind of awareness of how these larger issues play on this area is borne out in kind of people being proud of where they're from, especially with these binational communities. A lot of people don't want to make the decision over whether you're Mexican or American. You are binational.
And in 2019, those binational roots were heard across the world.
Come off the rope! He wants out! That's it! He says that's it! Andy Ruiz is the heavyweight champion!
When a new Valley native hero not only rose to stardom, but put one of Imperial Valley's oldest roots back on the map. Inside the boxing ring, a sport that never left, but had trouble being heard. Until the Mexican Rocky, Andy Ruiz, changed its course.
Right here, like in the Imperial Valley, like almost nothing happens, and like you rarely see someone coming from here, like coming out from here. And Andy Ruiz, like Mexican American heavyweight world champion, like coming from here, it's an inspiration.
An inspiration that has driven young boxers like Alex Guillen and Jose Valenzuela to new heights they didn't know were possible, building their journey through Baja Boxing Club in Calexico. Gym owner Raul Lau pushing them to endless opportunities.
I'm training here because he's got a lot of kids. He's got a lot of talent here in the Calexico, especially here in this area. Andy Ruiz started here in the Valley, and right now, you know, it's a champion of the world, and all the kids want to follow the same steps to go to national champion.
Talent being an understatement, something that recently landed Guillen and Valenzuela first and third place medals in a Mexico City boxing tournament, a step in Ruiz's direction.
We want to become like him because that's like that's our inspiration, because we want to be on the top too. We want to represent this valley. I want to be a world champion so I could take out my family.
A tight group rewriting the boxing story for a place that has the infrastructure and the gyms to excel.
This boxing gym feels a lot like a family.
Baja Boxing, just one of the Valley gyms on the rise. Another one just 11 miles north in Andy Ruiz's stomping grounds. At Sparta Boxing in El Centro, the home of Andy Ruiz, where he trained before he won a heavyweight title. And now, every night, up to 20 kids are in here training, looking to fulfill those dreams of bringing another champion out of the Valley.
Boxing made me look that there was a lot of other things out there than just being stuck in this little town and getting involved in gangs, drugs, and stuff. And then, so by them just traveling, say, to all these other cities, they get to see that there's a bigger world out there.
Just a small gym, but a lasting impact on El Centro. But it's the economic inequality and lack of funding that makes the leap to professional boxing such a tall task.
The Valley's always known for good boxers, but like they get stuck there. Because why? We're from a little town. It's different in LA. There's less sponsors, less people supporting you. I mean, you got to pretty much struggle a lot. They're stuck in that, just almost getting ready to go to the next level. It pretty much puts them like, oh, if Andy made it, then we could all struggle and try to make it.
But it's the struggle that makes it so special. Andy Ruiz and others being merely a symbol for prosperity.
The sport is healthy in a place like the Imperial Valley, in so much as that it never really went away. It reflects a lot of what the region is about in terms of being hard-nosed and feeling as if they're underappreciated. And I think if you're fighting not only on behalf of yourself and your family to try to get some monetary gain, but also because you're representing your region, that's going to drive a lot of boxers to success.
That success built on community and pride. Proof that the Valley is more than just border cities. Something much bigger. Reporting in the Valley, Cole Johnson, News 11.